I would just like to say that we hold extremely high standards because we're training the people who are going to take care of your children, of the children in New Zealand. So when we look at a candidate who wants to come into our program, we're thinking in the back of our minds, we're thinking, okay, would I trust my child with this person? And if that person simply wants a visa or wants to do our program for some other reason, no, because that wouldn't be acceptable to the parents and the communities in New Zealand. So we keep very high standards, and Audrey and Alan support that, like we just across the board, because that's the critical importance of early childhood education in New Zealand and anywhere. And so we're not also saying the only place to go is NZTC, because literally we need to provide the very best early childhood education to the youngest and most vulnerable in our society. So I think that's sort of a shorthand that other people use, but we don't really use that word because the students are in early childhood centers from day one. So in the graduate diploma, they're studying for a year and 3 months. They're in an early childhood center for that whole time. They're mentored by an associate teacher. They access their materials through online, yes. We go and visit them in their center, but it's very much a work-based program. It's all about work, because you think about it, how are you going to learn to be a teacher when you're not working with young children? You have to be working with young children to be the very best teacher. So it's not really an online program. It's very much working with, and our biggest partners are early childhood centers. Those are who we work with. We support them because they support our students to become the best. We don't tell students where they're going to live. So we give an opportunity to those students to find a center close to where they live. If they need support, then absolutely we place them. But it's not really, like, we work with maybe 1,000 centers in New Zealand. So there isn't a lot, and just the sector, early childhood, requires teachers. Because they require teachers, they're looking for students all the time. Students to them are like gold. They get a student in their center, and then they're looking to nurture that student until they graduate. So we don't have any problems with our students finding centers, but we do support them to find them if need be. But in general, yeah, Auckland, you can go into any center in Auckland and say, hey, I'm studying with NZTC. They will be accepted. The curriculum changes that we were making in maths and structured literacy. But largely the government and the Minister of Education is imposing change on the primary sector, not early childhood. So, but we are trying to stay current all the time. So yes, we are making changes to our curriculum, but it is completely different, because as Sean was pointing out, there is a particular way to teach young children, and it's quite different from primary and secondary. So we're moving forward, enhancing our curricula, but we're not overhauling it, we're not changing massively, but we are listening to what the minister is saying.